Hey guys, welcome back to another video breakdown. This is number 4 and my second attempt at going by myself. Let me know what you think. So this roll is Jitsu and Jesset in a little session we had. So Jitsu starts on top, looking to pass Jesset's guard. Jesset goes to his back, which is typically correct if your opponent is standing. Jitsu is looking to step inside and look for knee cuts. Jesset's doing a good job of grabbing the ankle and keeping the feet on the hips and hooks. So it's difficult. Jitsu's looking for the knee cut. Jesset's defending very well with the ankle grip. Careful with that. You're going to get foot locked here. You got to get that foot off your hip, Jitsu on top. Yep. He's got your ankle. So if he makes you fall here, it's going to be a straight. And Jesset is strong there. Yep. Yeah, you got to stay on your feet. Number one thing is if someone's going for your feet and you're standing, you got to stay standing. If you let them sweep you, it's going to be hard. Resetting the same way. Jitsu on top, looking to knee cut. Jesset sitting up. I'm not a fan of this staying away stuff. It's just wasting time. I prefer to engage right away. So Jesset went for the single. Jitsu just kind of let it happen. You should have probably sprawled and stuffed the head there. But it's okay. You got basically half guard trying to get to the back. Jesset's shorts are doing a great job of trapping Jitsu's toes. But Jitsu gets to the back anyway. Jesset's turtling, which this is typically not good for him. It's also not good how Jitsu is on top, but without a harness. Like you really want both your hands here around the neck, or arm and neck. So Jesset's just being defensive. Jitsu still has no threat. Now there's a threat. See, with Jesset's hand on the mat, you should be able to choke him here because he's not defending his neck, which means you weren't cutting underneath correctly. So now you have the back. I'd like to see your feet. There you go. That's a good position. Now you just got a grip fight. Got to get his hands off your wrist. Not that it's easy, just that's very strong. Good job holding on to the back there. The body triangle is okay, but you're probably going to need your leg to help trap an arm, so you don't really need that. It's like Jitsu's fighting for the choke, going through the hand fight. Uh-oh, what happened here? Okay. Hopefully that didn't mess up my recording. The computer froze for a minute, but we're still going, I guess. So still back control, looking to get this finish. So Jitsu now has the mount, looking for a wrist pin. When I take mount, what I'm thinking about typically is using head pressure. So I would be making the person on the bottom so miserable that they're going to stick an arm up. It was a very well-timed bump, but Jitsu kind of just let it happen. He should have been like squeezing with his legs there. So looking for another straight here. So you want to stand, Jitsu. You want to stand. You don't want to let him wrap your leg there. Anytime someone's on your ankle like that, especially strong Jesset, you got to stand. He can't take it otherwise. Jitsu was very courteous with wiping his sweaty self off in the middle of the roll. I like that. All right, so it looks like Jitsu wants to play some of his guard. I like it. So Jesset's on top. Jesset typically is very active and athletic with his passes. So I prefer on the bottom to make sure I'm grabbing an ankle with the hooks to kind of slow it down. So here Jesset's trying to take away the space with the knee cut. Jitsu's framing and pushing away to create space. He's got his Z-guard in there, but he's also lost the grip battle, letting Jesset wrap his head. That's not good. So you turned and got on top, which would be good if you weren't in danger of being choked. So you have to kind of weigh the pros and cons of doing that with can you defend your neck. Looks like you did a pretty good job of threatening a pass here. So again, if you feel like you're not going to get choked, then you're okay. But I don't really like people around my neck, so I tend to avoid that. Defend your neck should be number one priority here for Jitsu, and Jesset should try to connect his hands to get that finish. Guillotine with a closed guard is very strong if you're under the chin, so not a good spot. Oh my God, Eric just picked up Elliot like a little girl. That's impressive. Sorry. So Danjitsu's driving now with his hips high to relieve the pressure of the guillotine, which is correct. You got to get them to let go somehow. Perfect. Good job with that, Danjitsu. All right, so now you're going to want to posture. So right here, Jesset's not controlling the posture of Danjitsu at all. So Dan should posture, which he finally did. But you're pushing the leg on top without stepping up into like Captain Morgan first. So you're not going to be as strong there. Step up into a lunge. That way you have a better base and an ability to use your hips to open. So right now you're putting your head in the middle there, Danjitsu, and there's no reason to be in the danger zone like that. Yeah, get away from him, get postured as soon as possible. Like you only want to have your head in the center and be down there in the guard if they're pulling you there and you can't stop it. Then at least you want to control the hips. But you want to posture. Jesset's looking for shoulder jumps and triangles. You're going to make sure you keep your hands inside Danjitsu. All this would have been avoided if you had postured more. Now you're fighting out of really strong attacks here. And the arms in there too. Yeah, gotcha. That's the thing about the guard, especially close. It's very strong in that middle. If you're not super close or super far, it's got all the attacks. So I prefer to posture immediately. Like if you see me in guards, you see I Captain Morgan every time. So right here, Danjitsu's looking to try to win one leg inside to get his knee cut position. This is always going to be a very annoying fight for both people, as a lot of different things can happen. I like the ankle control that Jesset has here. It's going to make this cut difficult for Danjitsu. Mixing up where your feet are from hooks to hips. So that's not really a threat, in my opinion. You just got to get that foot off your hip. There we go, Danjitsu. It's like you can hear me all of a sudden. Yes, keep doing that, and you'll pass. But when you pass, you got to get an underhook or they just throw you, kind of like that. But it's okay. You're still on top. You didn't end up on the bottom. It's not terrible. Keep trying to pass. Good wrist pin, but cut right now. So you were waiting too long. You pin the wrist. You should have just knee cut immediately. But he got back to the guard. So that was a pretty good roll. It was nice to see a little bit of a different look. So let me know what you guys thought of my commentary on this one. So far, the feedback's been pretty good. So I will happily keep making these.